along, that's the sound of music. Whoa, ring the alarm, that's the sound of music. And breakfast with Bob.
Poncho Man! My name is Bob Babbitt. Breakfast with Bob. Hoka One One. Polar Halo Neuroscience. Velo Fix Today's Plan. Normatec Four Seasons Resort. Hawalalai. Triathlete Magazine are our sponsors. Our next guest. He was with us last year, the day before his horrific accident. He is back, his first race back after breaking his neck. He ran a 2:49 marathon in Boston. He won a 70.3. He is all set to kick some serious butt on Saturday. Please give it up for the Don, Mr. Tim Don.
That's a bit of an intro there.
You're a bit of a guy to intro. So it's interesting because we were like last year, we were sitting here on the Tuesday and chatting about the race, and you really hadn't felt at that point that you had performed up to your standards at this race. A three-time Olympian, you've done a lot of different things.
Still haven't.
You still haven't, right? You still haven't. And then the next day, you're riding on Queen K, and take us through that.
Yeah, I was riding on the Queen K in the cycle lane, and there's a gas station just as you leave town, and a car coming towards me just turned in front and T-boned me. I came down pretty hard. I think I came to about 20, 25 minutes later. My shoulder and neck were sore. I thought, a bit of whiplash, and I didn't feel a break, so I thought, I could probably still race, might not swim that well. Then obviously I had to go to hospital, and things spiraled downwards very quickly from there after a few scans.
C2?
C2, that's right, yes.
Yeah. Hangman bone.
Yeah.
And basically, you were lucky to be alive.
Yes, I was.
And lucky to not be paralyzed, you could have been a quadriplegic from that.
Yeah.
We work with a lot of our challenge athletes who've had that same injury and are quadriplegic. So obviously, good and bad. The bad is that you're in this halo. The good is there's a light at the end of the tunnel. How hard was that halo?
Oh, yeah, you say there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I definitely didn't see that first.
For a long time.
It's, there's lots of things. Yeah, it was just for me. Yeah, it was just tough. It was tough for my family. When they say they're going to screw 4 titanium bolts into your head to 8 Newton meters, you kind of, I don't know what you say. You just have to crack on with it.
Right.
Definitely, put lots of things I've done in the past in perspective, and I definitely appreciate things a lot more than I did, and I don't take anything for granted, whether it's racing, my family, my friends, triathlon, the community, everything. It's nice to be back here, it really is.
So when they're screwing things into your head, and he's sort of doing it by feel, right? If he goes a little too much.
Yeah, they had, and they couldn't just do the front screws. They had to equal so the halo didn't move. So they had a torque wrench. So they set it to 2 Newton meters, click. And when it clicks, it's obviously going into your skull. So the whole skeletal system kind of vibrates. Then they do 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4. Unfortunately, because my wife would say stupidly, I'm sure, but because I tried to train a bit early, some of the screws were coming loose. And when they came loose... my whole head would swell because it's a foreign body into your head. So they'd literally, for those, they couldn't give me any local, and they tightened them. And it was the front left one. They I think it was the third time they went to tighten it. Every 3 weeks I was getting scans on my neck just to look at the curvature of the spine and the gaps between all my vertebrae. But this time I had to have a CAT scan on my screws because they were worried if they tightened it any more, it was going deeper and deeper. It was going to puncture the skull or break the skull and puncture the brain. So I actually had to have a 5th screw put in just before Christmas. So that was awesome.
What a Christmas present.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's brilliant. Extra hardware.
I love
So if anyone
that.
needs titanium bolts, I have a lot.
And those things are expensive.
You have no idea. They're like, I think they're $280 a bolt, and you have to buy them in packs of 5. So I had to buy 10 in the end. It's like,
And it's hard to go sell those on eBay.
oh no, I sold them on eBay. Yeah.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
I'm like, wow.
He bidded.
I'm so easy. I am so easy. So, how did you sleep? Did you?
Yeah, very uncomfortably. For the first 3 or 4 weeks, I slept upright in a chair downstairs because the halo comes down to your belly button and the same on your back. So if you lean back here, it's kind of tilting the pressure. And it wasn't so much my neck that was sore then. It was because, bone once it's healing, if it's kept still, so it's like a plaster cast, it was fine. It was just the screws. So yeah, I think probably the longest I'd sleep was about 40 minutes in the first 3 or 4 weeks without waking up, because I had to sleep like this. As you sleep, this is what was happening to me. And there's absolutely no humidity in Boulder, and your mouth was just getting like so dry, so I'd have to have a drink and then a wriggle. And then after about 4 weeks, we bought one of those kind of hospital beds, because I still couldn't sleep laying down. And then we started at 45 degrees for like a week. Then we lowered it, and I got down to about 30 degrees over 3 months. And that was the best it was.
What was the lowest point of all this?
There's probably 2 low points. There's probably... Initially, you're dealing with a very matter of fact and the practicality of trying to get yourself sorted. It's about 3 weeks in, and I'd look back. I'd broken the world record that season. I got 3rd at the world 70.3s. I really felt, I felt happy here. I felt content, and it's kind of like, if you fail an exam, you fail it. But if you can't even take the exam, and I just felt, oh man, that was just like broke my heart. If I got a puncture or nutrition or something happened, c'est la vie, that's racing. But yeah, that was pretty hard. And I was lucky that my wife was around to kick me up the bum. And young kids keep you pretty honest. There was one night when the pain was so bad, and they gave me different medication to try and relax me. Very tense. And he just didn't agree with me, and I was throwing up. And when you throw up, you do this gag, but I just couldn't do it. And literally, there was about 3 times I went in the garage to look for an Allen key to take it off, because it was just very uncomfortable. I would not recommend a Halo at all, seriously. Go for the Fusion.
But that was your option, right? Halo or Fusion, and if they fuse, then your career basically would be over. Yeah,
and again, I'm going to retire sometime, probably before Cam Brown, but I will retire sometime. Damn, he's a legend. But you want to retire on your own terms as much as you can, and that was my driving force. Is I didn't want someone else to end my career through stupidity. So, did I think I'd come back to Kona for the first 3 or 4 months? Absolutely not. But slowly, if you focus on the process, you do the small things. And Julie and Matt, my coaches, all my sponsors, my family, people that reached out, they definitely helped me, motivate me when I'm watching Jan Blummin ride 200k and Patrick Lang do 100 press-ups, and who knows what Lionel Saunders does, but I'm seeing all these Instagram craziness, and I'm going, I've done 10 minutes at 80 watts, rock and roll, baby. So.
I'm ready. I'm taking everybody down. And then the next time we chatted was in Boston, a couple days before Boston Marathon, and when I heard you were going to run Boston, and we're talking the storm of the century, right? Cold, windy, rainy, in sheets. It is everything but hail.
I would, if the weather was like that, would anyone run it in an Elvis suit?
That was me. Yeah, that was probably not the brightest move. Yeah. But also, I'm sitting there the whole time thinking of you running on these slick streets. With out of the halo, and I know you probably had a smile on your face the whole time just because you were back racing again, because you loved the race, but at the same time, you could have fallen down any time.
Yeah, but, you can't wrap yourself in cotton wool. You need to get on, and, the bone had 100% healed, and, there was obviously lots of muscle wastage and, movement. I was very inflexible, and my whole spine, it's like flying economy for 3 months. So I was all locked up really bad without a TV, let me tell you.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
With a big heavy set guy next to you.
Yeah, I mean, God, yeah, literally each side. Middle seat. Yeah, but you know what it's like. You've been around sport, you love it, and that's the same. And I think my wife would rather let me go and do stuff like that, rather than a caged animal. Not very happy.
Yeah. When did you know that you were back, or did you have an inkling that I could actually not just be a recreational athlete, but get back to this sport?
Boston was a big day. It wasn't crazy fast, but you know, I set a goal, we worked to it, and we achieved it. And that, again, that's the process I love. And, you know, I pulled up without any niggles. You know, I was a bit sore, very iced, because it was, as you said, it was crazy cold. But, yeah, that definitely gave me confidence. And then it was, you know, about really working on my swimming, because I was still swimming with a snorkel then. And I wasn't riding too long outside because I was getting really tight.
Yes.
And then my shoulders were going like this and whatnot. But yeah, that was a big moment, the Boston Marathon. It definitely gave me the light was pretty clear then. I just had to get to it.
And first triathlon?
Yeah, first triathlon was Costa Rica. You know, I knew I was in good physical shape, but there's a difference between training well and racing well. And, you know, there's no medals in training, so I had to execute. And I really wanted to fight for a podium. And yeah, I had a good swim, a solid bike, and I attacked at the end of the bike and got away. And it wasn't a fast race because honestly, it was hotter than Kona. No wind, but crazy hot. And yeah, it was just survival of the fittest on the run. And I knew that was the case, so I played my tactics pretty smart. And yeah, had a good race. I'd definitely recommend going down there. It's awesome.
So you go from, you know, 740, right, to setting the world record for the Ironman distance. Or the Ironman for the Ironman branded events, to breaking your neck all in the same year. How has all of this, what you've gone through, changed you?
Well, I'm an ambi-turner now. I can't really turn to the right because of my neck.
You can go left.
Yeah, I can go left.
Left's
Left's good.
okay.
Right's bad.
Yeah.
No, as I said, you know, it's just made me realise that, and it's not being corny, that the community, I mean, it's bonkers. I mean, you know, the people that have reached out to me, from fellow pros to my local community to all the triathletes that have messaged me to people that have watched The Man with a Halo, and I think that's what triathlon's about. It's not just about, you know, your personal achievement. It's about, you know, it's about everyone here loves the sport as much as all the professionals. You know,
right.
Like if an athlete was injured in track and field, they would not go to the world champs, yet Jan Frodeno comes here because he loves the sport.
Right.
You know, it's bigger than that, and I think that really opened up my eyes, definitely the last 12 months.
Does it change I know you're still a competitor. You want to come here and win, right? You want to be top 3, top 5. What are your expectations here?
If I get 15th, then that's a big W, baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, like, that's my goal, but it's going to be hard. The last 10 weeks when I've upped the training, I've had lots of imbalances, you know, from my neck and my hips and in my feet. So yeah, it's going to be a tough ask, but you know, why not? Give it a go. And yeah, I'll definitely be racing smart, but yeah, I'm under no illusion where the bar is now, and I can see it, but I definitely can't reach it.
How about a round of applause for the Don?
Sorry,
Mister.
I know this is off topic. Can I just say something? How cool is this man? What he does for our sport is amazing. What he does for us athletes, professionals, is not done in many other sports, and the Challenge Athlete Foundation. So I just want to say thank you.
What a guy. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Got me teary.
Bring the alarm, that's the sound of music. And breakfast with Bob.